Welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino, and we are so excited to be kicking off a brand new season of all new interviews, farm and ranch visits, cooking demos, and so much more. Today we're in Sacramento, which is known as the farm to fork capital of the world, and we're hanging out at the Citizen Hotel, which houses a restaurant that gets high praise for its farm to fork practices.
Grange is 15 years old. We're one of the original farm to fork restaurants here in Sacramento. I think we're the first restaurant that fully embraced it, kind of 100%. We try to source all of our product locally, so all the fruits, vegetables, whatever we can comes from within about 100 miles of the restaurant. And then what can't come from within that area, we try to stay within California and source within the state.
Smack dab in the middle of an expanse of farmland, the California state capital city, Sacramento, is feeding chefs with an abundance of agriculture.
These farmers come to us with maybe just like a little bit of some crop that they were toying with, and we'll put it on our menu maybe for a week, and then we sell out and it's gone for the rest of the year. Sacramento has more bounty than most areas, and even though California is, rich with all that, Sacramento's it's really dense with all that great agriculture, great relationships with, citrus farmers and rice farmers, and great sturgeon and caviar here in Sacramento, and just kind of all those things are within a 20-25 minute drive of us. So I've been able to develop relationships with these people, and they come in to eat, or you call them every year and ask if you can go out there because you're trying to pick the best of the best. So over time you just develop great relationships with these people and they become friends.
At Grange, executive chef Dane Blom regularly evolves his menu based on seasonality, but he has his favorites.
I'm a little biased, but I think we grow the best tomatoes in the entire country, and so obviously when summertime hits and it's hot enough for those tomatoes, tomatoes are repeated multiple times throughout the menu, and they're just beautiful and sweet and juicy, and I think we get that. And I also think we grow some of the best peaches in the entire country, and I know Georgia tries to claim that, but I think we really do. And the beautiful thing about Sacramento is we have the foothills, so a lot of things are grown up in the hills here, and the reason being is that it gets really hot during the day and at night it gets cold, and so those fruits lock sugars in. And it makes the fruit a lot sweeter.
So we went into the kitchen to see how he fuels these farm-driven flavors.
Grilled white prawns with sauce persillade, which is a citrus sauce. So we'll be showcasing some of that local citrus with beets and avocado mousse. This would be an appetizer on our menu. Avocados are local California avocados. The citrus is coming from about 20 minutes from here, and so are the beets. So we'll make a little avocado mousse, make a sauce with that citrus that has parsley, green onions, garlic, olive oil, and then grapefruit, Meyer lemon, and blood orange in it. And then we'll grill the prawns that have been marinated, and also place some beets around it just to add some earthiness to that dish.
And while that's intended to whet your appetite, here's a look at a few more dishes they've served up.
A grilled combo tuna with dried cranberry beans that are from the region, chorizo, which being a Californian, chorizo is near and dear to your heart. The grilled tombo tuna, some local calamari coming out of Monterey, and then a little salsa verde on that as well, just to add a little freshness and lightness. Grilled rack of lamb, which is the lamb's coming out of Dixon, which once again is about 25-30 minutes from here. That's coming from a farm called Superior Farms, and that's coming with pumpkin, broccoli, Niçoise olives, a little pumpkin puree, olive jus. So just everything that's kind of in season at the moment and coming from local farms. So we have a little dessert, and carrots are going really strong right now. So these are nonce carrots, and it's a nonce carrot cake coming with a brown butter icing, brown butter ice cream, and a brown butter crumb. So brown butter everything, which works perfect in the wintertime and really showcasing the carrots. The highest praise possible is seeing a repeat guest enjoy themselves and look forward to what you're making next.
Look at all these delicious plates, but what meal is complete without a nice beverage to go with it? Let's go see how they shake things up at the bar.
I'm Evelyn, I'm the lead bartender here at Grange. I'm gonna make you our fireside conversation. So the fireside is gonna use our J.J. Pfister Grange Select bourbon. It is actually finished in Sangiovese casks. Then I have a house-made red wine and blood orange cordial. I have blood orange juice that we juice fresh from Twin Peaks Orchards. And then just a little bit of lemon. Take this one up. Take that, throw it in our coupe. We're gonna take some candied orange, torch a little bit of rosemary. We're gonna throw it right on top.
Up next, we'll take you to a place that's growing real, authentic wasabi right here in the Golden State. And still ahead, find out what it's like to practice yoga with a bunch of kids. Don't go away, more California Bountiful after the break. California Bountiful is brought to you by the California Farm Bureau.
We need someone to be there, knowing they'll always care. Someone who lights your way each and every day. Doing what you love is everything, so we can celebrate the joy it brings. There's so much to protect in our lives. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Golden Sky Country Music Festival coming to Sacramento, October 14th and 15th with Eric Church.
All you gotta do is put a drink in my hand.
John Party.
Here I go again, I'm drinking one.
Maren Morris. Parker McCullum. And Jordan Davis, Lainey Wilson, Winona Judd, and more. Golden Sky Country Music Festival at Discovery Park in downtown Sacramento. Passes starting at $10 down at goldenskyfestival.com.
Welcome back to California Bountiful. Along the California coast, just south of San Francisco, two friends turned business partners are growing the freshest, most authentic wasabi. And they're one of the very few wasabi farms finding success outside of Japan.
Having sushi one night, and Tim was like, you know, this wasabi that we're having here is not real wasabi, it's horseradish. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I had no idea. And he's like, yeah, it's real wasabi is really hard to grow. It's only grown in certain mountain streams in Japan, and it needs this really unique climate to grow, but nobody's doing it. He's like, it just got us curious. And then I went home, started looking into it. He started looking into it like crazy, and then we would just be at work talking like about, oh, how cool it would be to start a wasabi farm, you know, go out there. And then we started looking into Half Moon Bay, and we're like, the climate out here seems pretty similar to the area in Japan where it's grown. And we're like, you know, maybe we can give it a shot.
I don't know even how I found out that it's not real wasabi. I mean, how could that be? Like, why is that, you know? So I'm curious, and so I looked into it, and I found out what I was eating, and then I found out why I wasn't having wasabi, because it's really just really expensive and hard to grow, and it mostly comes from Japan. And so then that just made me go even deeper, and the deeper you go with wasabi, it's just the more fascinating it is, right? I mean, it's been traded with samurais, you know, back in the day. It's got medicinal powers and everything like this, and so I just started to go, well, what if we were the first ones to grow wasabi?
Half Moon Bay Wasabi co-owners Jeff Roller and Tim Hall say once the idea was born, getting growing took some trial and error, as well as tapping into their biology backgrounds, but persistence has paid off.
We failed miserably, but we had just enough success. That's the thing, just enough to keep us going. And there was always that feeling like, well, what if we made this change? Like, this could be the deal breaker, just one more try. And so, yeah, I'm pretty stubborn, and we're still here after, I guess it's 10 years now.
Wasabi's reputation of being difficult to grow wasn't lost on these producers, so once they figured out how to manage its finicky nature, they put it to the test.
And we handed it to the sushi chef and said, tell us what you think about this. He's like, where'd you get this? Well, we grew it. He's like, well, you didn't grow that. You can't grow that here. And we, well, no, we grew it. And he tried it and he was like, it's good. And we were pumped, like that was the best for us. That, from that day forward, we're like, we always felt like if we can grow the stuff, we can sell it.
The duo now has 6 greenhouses sitting along the California coast with successful year-round operations, providing their authentic and fresh wasabi to local California chefs and beyond.
The fresh wasabi is quite a bit different. The heat hits really fast and then it leaves really fast. And then there's there's almost a sweetness, a floral taste to it as well. Whereas the horseradish, the fake wasabi, it hits you real hard and then it stays with you for a long time and you get that nasal burn and you're hating life if you have too much of it.
The leaves, stems, and flowers of garden-grown wasabi plants are perfectly edible. It's in the brassica family, along with broccoli, cabbage, and kale.
It has these ridiculously long leaves, long stems, these leaves that if it doesn't get just the right balance of water, they fall over, they wilt, and then you get huge problems. And it's just, everything about this plant is high maintenance.
Now that they've gotten to the roots of success, Half Moon Bay Wasabi is proud to be the only wasabi producer in the Golden State and among just a few successful growers outside of Japan in the entire U.S.
We had to learn this all from scratch. There's no books telling us how to do this, and it's a weird plant. It's not an aquatic plant. I mean, it grows in stream beds in Japan, but it's like some people call it a semi-aquatic plant. But it has a lot of things that are different about it that take a little bit of a different approach than most plants. So we've pulled, technology from the berries and lettuces and lots of different areas and kind of put them together and try different things. And when we get something that works, it's pretty fulfilling and it's fun. The funnest thing about it to me is going into these sushi restaurants because I used to hand deliver to a bunch of them on my way home to Oakland in San Francisco, and I'd stop in and they're always just so excited to see us. Wasabi guy, sit down, they'd give us some, they're always like, have a snack, and before I know it, I'm like stuffed with all this incredible sushi. So that part of it's fun because we're the only ones doing it.
Very cool. I'll definitely remember that the next time I go out for some sushi. Now here's something else that's good for you.
They're crunchy, they're convenient, and they complement almost any food out there. We are talking about nuts. Did you know that nuts are also a heart-healthy food, as they contain fiber, protein, vitamins, and minerals, and a phytochemical that helps fight inflammation in the body. On top of that, just 1 ounce of nuts per day has shown to help lower your LDL or bad cholesterol and your triglyceride levels. We've also seen that a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are found in nuts, can help lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, dementia, and depression. Nuts are a really easy snack to enjoy because you can simply eat them as is, put them in a snack mix, you can also stir them into a salad, a soup, or put them in a baked good such as a muffin. I love to have toasted walnuts in my oatmeal, or you can just eat them right out of the bag. We hope this inspires you to go nuts over nuts.
Coming up, we've found the perfect place to enjoy a glass of vino in Calaveras County. And still to come, practice the art of yoga with a playful agricultural twist. This is California Bountiful.
someone to be there, knowing they'll always care. Someone who lights your way each and every day. Doing what you love is everything, so we can celebrate the joy it brings. There's so much to protect in our lives. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
The California Farm Bureau has protected the diverse agricultural interests in the Golden State for over a century. As part of the California Farm Bureau, you'll add your voice to the combined strength of over 34,000 farmers, ranchers, and families through our state. That means more connections, more influence, and more opportunity to fight for the issues that impact your life. With your support behind us, California Farm Bureau's robust government affairs, federal policy and farm pact, and legal teams work tirelessly to advocate at all levels of government, protecting and promoting our shared way of life. Together, California Farm Bureau and our members are standing up for farmers, ranchers, and families throughout the Golden State every day, working to cultivate a bountiful future for all Californians.
In the central Sierra Nevada foothills between Lake Tahoe and Yosemite National Park sits a family-owned and operated business, the home to Locke Wines, where they've been growing premium wine grapes since 1995.
Quietly located in Calaveras County, just off of Highway 4 in Murphys, visitors are drawn in to the Locke Vineyards estate, home to Locke Wines and Farmhouse Shop.
So when you drive in, you kind of just immediately notice there's a lot of different pockets and corners out here to explore and enjoy. So a lot of times it takes people after parking and getting out of their car to actually make it inside the barn. The walking garden that we're in right now, it has a lot of different diverse plants that people love to come get ideas with. And people love to see the garden as well. Our garden center hosts a lot of culinary herbs, a lot of vegetables. We do a lot of creative containers and trellising seasonally out there. We kind of have a theme every year, as well as all the yard art that we have. And then once you make your way into the barn, we have our boutique, the shop. And then of course, wine tasting, I would say that's the number one thing. I always want the wine experience to be like, sit down and take a breath and relax. I think when you're in the mountains, we kind of work on a mountain time a little bit slower pace, and I want people to really connect that. And I do notice that as people walk in, they kind of just like fly in driving wise, and it's like, hey, you're in the mountains, like let's slow down, let's take a breath, and let's really connect to like your senses and what you're experiencing with the wine.
This family-owned and operated business has been growing grapes since the mid-90s and gives wine lovers a unique, relaxing, sit-down tasting experience.
Our tasting experience is definitely a little slower paced. You know, I back in like 2017, 2018 started feeling like it was becoming a little bit of like a bar, belly up to the bar kind of hangout, like grab your flight and go. And I just wanted people to really soak in what our property and estate had to offer. So we now do everything seated. My dad, in the winter, he makes these boxes out of wood and antiques that he's found. And we actually pour flights into the boxes, and we sit down, we come out to the patio and we walk you through it. We know the wines very well since we are with them, you know, in grape form in the vineyard from early stages all the way through harvest, through the cellar. So we really take you along the journey of what each wine has to offer. And it's really a learning experience of connecting wine and with food ideas as well. We're very well known for Zinfandel and Cabernet Sauvignon because that is what we grow the most of in some of our oldest vines. But I will say our Grove blends are by far some of our most popular, and that is definitely in homage to my dad's forestry career. So all of our blends are named after local trees that are prominent in Calaveras County. The main one being Sequoia, that is our oldest standing blend, which is our two main varietals of Zin and Cab blended together.
And visitors are also loving what they're discovering with the barn at Locke. From the walking garden to their flower shop, plus all kinds of home goods.
My go-to favorite is like our lavender corner. We have our lavender linen spray, which we actually make here on site through the essential oil extraction process. It's a lavender linen spray that you can spray on your clothes, you can spray around your house. It's a very versatile spray, and I would say it's one of our most popular ones in the shop. I love having our dried lavender and our dried flower bouquets. It can really freshen and brighten up your home year-round. And of course, comboing them together with like a nice bottle of wine or a hat, you can really piece a nice little gift together too. If we're not making it, I'm partnering with a local, or there's like a family connection to the product. I'm really mindful about sourcing those. We've worked with a lot of local candle makers as well, focusing on my favorite one has been kind of wine-scented fall candles. So it's kind of playing those creative elements and saying, hey, we want to do something special with you. Let's combine talents.
So whether it's the wine, flowers, or farmhouse workshops that lure you in, Locke Vineyards is proud to offer curated experiences.
I think people are looking for new and for connection, and not in like a consumer superficial way, but in a like, this is the land, this is the process, this is what we do to make a living, and they get to be a part of that journey.
It's always nice to enjoy a great glass of California wine. And if you're a bit of a yogi too, we've found a place where you can have your wine and namaste too. Stay with us, California Bountiful. We'll be right back.
We need someone to be there, knowing they'll always care. Someone who lights your way each and every day. Doing what you love is everything, so we can celebrate the joy it brings. There's so much to protect in our lives. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Are you looking to uncover more of the bounty of California's rich, diverse, and delicious food and wine scene? Then it's time to get social with us. Find even more great content from farm to fork and everything in between, like recipes, behind the scenes, on food and wine tours, plus useful info on what's good for you and so much more. Join an engaging community of like-minded foodies and tell us what great story ideas you have for us too. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the conversation now. Find, follow, and talk to us on social at CA Bountiful.
You love your pet and would do pretty much anything for them. But sometimes pet healthcare costs can make your wallet growl. That's why we created My Pet Protection, pet insurance designed exclusively for employees like you. Get reimbursed for eligible veterinary expenses. Enjoy extra perks like Vet Helpline, Pet RX Express, and more. Use any vet anywhere. Signing up is easy. Just tell us about your pet and choose your level of reimbursement. My Pet Protection is available only through your employer. Get a no-obligation quote today.
Welcome back. We're still here at the Citizen Hotel, and if you don't mind a silly goat or two or three, we've found a fun, unique, one-of-a-kind farm experience that's known to reduce stress and anxiety. The two main ingredients, goats and yogis.
Welcome to Spanker Family Farm. We are so happy to have you here for goat yoga today.
Spanker Family Farm offers its visitors a way to fuel the mind, body, and soul during a visit to their farm with a full-on goat yoga class in the barn.
You are doing yoga with goats today, and goats love to jump and they love to chew. So they like to chew hair and clothing and dangly earrings.
Sink into the bend of your right elbow, then reach straight up to the sky.
The goat yoga trend caught on in 2016, and Sarah Pratt explains her Lodi farm quickly began fielding requests for it. So they teamed up with a local yoga studio to offer their own hands-on goat yoga experience.
People are just so impressed how relaxed they are. I mean, yoga, you know you're supposed to be relaxed, but then
And we all know that touching a baby animal just like really makes us all happy, it makes us joyful, and there's nothing more relaxing than being happy. And when they have the wine and cheese tasting afterwards, it's just, you know, hopefully they enjoy it.
I had 4 little baby goats all come up next to me and just take a nap, so it was a very serene, peaceful time that I got to experience, and I enjoyed every part of it.
This is just a lot more fun and playful, and it kind of brings like some humor into it with the goats. So it's not as like serious, but you can still get a good stretch in, get a good you know, session in, and get the full experience, but with the added bonus of having baby goats around. So it's the best of both worlds.
Were on top of people's backs, they were in their arms, they were having their arms up in the air doing squirmy things, and just having someone who's not a kid, but who actually is a kid, since a baby goat is a kid. It was very fun just being able to have them squirming around and just loving on you, because they're such loving creatures. Yeah, they can be a little bitey at times, but they mean it all in love, and they just want to show their love in their own animal language.
The goat yoga classes are seasonal at Spanker Family Farm, and they tend to fill up fast. No experience is necessary to give it a goat. Then post-workout, guests can sit down to sample the homegrown wines and cheeses.
You do all the yoga with these adorable little babies, and then you get to taste the fruits of their labor, of their mama's labor, and actually try the cheese.
It's an experience designed to bring happiness to all who visit.
People don't know or have a connection to farming anymore, and so it's harder to find a friend who is into farming or has a farm, and so it's really cool to be able to just bring a little piece of the farm to them, and we're small enough that it's relatable. It's not, you know, 1,000 cows, it's not, you know, 10,000 acres of land. It's 60-acre family farm, and we have our goats, and each of them has a name, and so it really brings a connection to everybody to this is a farm that you can relate to and you can help support and just get educated about agriculture.
I love it. So fun, and I'm told the goats really like it too, because they do enjoy jumping on anything they can see, whether that's a hay bale or your back. And that's going to do it for this episode of California Bountiful. I'm your host, Aubrey Aquino. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here in downtown Sacramento at the Citizen Hotel. We'll be back next week with more Bountiful stories, and until then, you can find us online at californiabountiful.com. See you next time.